Select, I pressed the stop button by mistake. But it said, it was like, take of the wise in their own craftiness, right? So when a person who is esteemed to be wise is being crafty or being deceitful, the Most High ensnares them. So they may be too crafty, they may be too cunning, too deceitful to be caught by men, but they will always be caught by Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. This is I believe he's quoting, I believe, Job 5:13. Okay? So don't think you being wise and being crafty, man. You're not going under the radar. You think you're going under the radar, but you're really not. So you gotta watch yourself, man. Don't think because you know a couple things that mean something. You might know a little something here and there. Hold on. 1 Corinthians 8:2. If any man think he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing, yet as he ought to know. So you think you know something, but you don't know what you ought to know. Yeah, you can quote those couple of scriptures. Yeah, you could go into current events, but you don't really know nothing the way you think you know. You don't know how to conduct yourself. You know, it's more than just the things that look good. You know, being able to speak well looks nice. Being able to, break down scriptures and go into this for a year, that look nice. That's cool and all. But guess what? You don't know what you ought to know. Because you ain't read Proverbs. You ain't read Ecclesiastes. You ain't read Ecclesiasticus, which is known as the Book of Sirach. And about conducting yourself in a certain way. You didn't read them scriptures. You didn't read the scriptures about being humble. You didn't read these scriptures that we're going into now. So yeah, you can know all these different breakdowns and all of that, but you don't really know what you think you really know. You know? This truth is vast, man. 2 Timothy 3:7, go right to the point. Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. There are people out there, man. They got a lot of different knowledge and different things, but they can never come to the knowledge of the truth, man. Because the Most High don't want them. Most High don't want them, man. You can even be a person that knows certain scriptures, but you don't really understand this truth. That's why Apostle Gabal, he had a tendency to say a lot. A lot of y'all guys, a lot of brothers don't really know what they're into. I mean, this truth is not a club. It's not a hangout. It's not a lounge. That's not what this thing is, man. This is a dead serious thing. But guys can't see it because they're not really spiritual. They think it just come out and break down some scriptures, and then after camp we just chill. You got guys that think that. You out doing during the week doing what you do, being the nigga, and then you come to camp, and then you acting like you a man of the Lord. This is a dead serious thing, man. This thing is for real. This thing is worse than the mafia. You know what I mean? All right. This is Acts 19:13, last scripture. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, a vagabond is a wanderer, exorcists. They were vagabond Jews, wandering Jews who were exorcists. So that had to have been how they made their living, by claiming to be, exorcists. Took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Yahushua, saying, we adjure you by Yahushua whom Paul preacheth. Look at that word adjure. Sorry. Nope.
Strong's G 3726 Harkidzo.
Harkidzo. It's a force to take an oath, to administer an oath to adjure. In other words, saying we commanding you by Yahushua who Paul preacher. So it said we commanded you by Yahushua that's preached by Paul. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew, and chief of the priests which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushua I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye? So the evil spirit said, Yahushua I know, and Paul I know, but who are you? I know Yahushua, I know Paul, but who are you? And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them. So he beat the hell out of them and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of the house naked and wounded. So they was beat up and they were stripped. Their clothes was all ripped up. Probably had certain parts of their garments missing. Garments off. Some parts may have been missing, like as in torn up, pulled off of them. They was attacked and they was beaten up. Because why? Knowledge puffed up. They were deceived into thinking that they were really greater than what they really was. And it was shown that they wasn't. If any man have knowledge, he don't know what he ought to know. Did we just read that? I'm not quoting verbatim. 1 Corinthians 8:2. So brothers gotta, keep these things into account. Pray how about you, man? Keep a humble spirit on you, man. For real, man. This thing is dead serious. So then I'm gonna close and say, oh praise how about you, man? Double honesty, apology, GMS. Hold on, wait, maybe a little more. And this was all known to all the Jews and Greeks also dwelling at Ephesus. And fear fell on them all. And the name of the Lord Yahweh was magnified. So people was afraid, man, after that. So if it said it was known to all the Jews and Greeks also dwelling at Ephesus, then it shows you what? It shows you that it was known that that's what happened to those vagabond Jews. So guess what? They got exposed in front of everybody. Like, oh, shoot, that happened to them? So this wasn't no small event like something happened and they were just swept under the rug. It happened. It was made known, man. It was made known. So with that, I'm going to say, oh, praise you. How about Shemel Shah? That belongs to the Apostle GMS. I hope you better learn something. Shalom.